All right, I'm out here at the entrance to Big Bend Ranch State Park, across the street from the Barden Warnock Center that you won't be able to see from here, but it's right there. This is about 10 miles into the race. Terlingua is that way, and this is where you enter the park. So I wanted to give you a quick look. If anyone should need it, this is pretty cool. They have installed new mechanic stands, bike repair stands. So you got a stand, bike pump, there's a bunch of tools in there. You enter the park here and you'll hit your first section of single track, Dog Choya Trail. And I'm here today mostly to answer the #1 question that I've been getting: can I bring my gravel bike? All right, well, like I said, easily the #1 question that I'm getting is about, can I bring a gravel bike, or what bike should I bring? And I'm here to talk about it. To answer the gravel bike question, I'm on the fence as to what I should do. I really don't think that you're going to be happy on a gravel bike. In fact, I know you're not going to be happy on a gravel bike, but I'm not in the business of telling people what to do. I want people to be able to choose their own adventure, and you're all big boys and girls, and I think you can make those decisions for yourself. But I'm here to give you my thoughts and my opinion to help navigate you into hopefully making the best decision for yourself. So in my opinion, the best bike for the West Texas Showdown is a hardtail mountain bike. The one I have here is the Esker Hayduke Tie, front suspension obviously, and I've got 2.6-inch Maxxis Recon, what do I have? Recon Race? No, I have the 2.6-inch Maxxis Recon tire. It's a very durable tire, nice and wide and chunky, good grip, and something like this is going to be the best suited for the West Texas Showdown. If you've never been out here before, the riding is like nothing you've ever seen. I can almost promise you that. There are sections of this trail that are more challenging from a navigational standpoint and riding standpoint than the AZT. I'm not saying overall, I'm just saying, you know, get your mind in that level of difficulty for some of the trails out here. Now, that's not all the trails. There's road riding, there's beautiful gravel roads, there's awesome single track, but there's also very gnarly riding all throughout the state park, and you're gonna be happiest on a mountain bike. I am considering outlawing gravel bikes. I haven't decided yet, but that gives you a window into like how much of a bad idea that I think it is. So minimum bike requirements to come out here and ride. I would say, you know, something like a Salsa Fargo, a fully rigid mountain bike would be okay. And I wouldn't run anything less than a 2.2-inch tire. The bigger, the better. There is super chunky riding, a lot of sandy, small, I mean, there's every kind of riding imaginable out here, and road riding. So there's a little bit of everything, and I really like that because it's gonna test you on all the different terrains imaginable and in some pretty extreme ways. So having a bike that's capable to get you through the terrain and do it safely and comfortably is the best case scenario, I think. So can you do it on a gravel bike? I guess so, but you're not gonna be happy. You're gonna be walking a lot, and you know, even the park roads within Big Bend Ranch State Park are almost 4x4 level roads. They're not, I just drove 3 hours into the state park yesterday in my 2-wheel drive low clearance Honda Element, and it was a pretty extreme drive. It's actually a lot easier to ride it on your bike than it is to drive it. But the roads, even like the main park roads, the ones that are like well maintained, are still really rugged. And even on those roads, a gravel bike isn't ideal. You can Google this. I'm not the only one that thinks about it. I think there's actually an article on bikepacking.com of a group of people that came out here, and one or some of them did it on their gravel bikes and sorely regretted it. And that is the consensus of anybody that's ever come out and ridden out here. If you've ridden in the national park, the state park is much different. The geology and the scenery and topography, wildlife, I mean, that's all very similar. But if you're thinking about riding in the national park and wanting to compare it to the state park, scratch that. They're completely different things. And one of the things that I absolutely love about Big Bend Ranch State Park is how wild and remote and rugged and just raw and original that it is. But that also amplifies the difficulty by a lot. And I just cannot overemphasize it enough. Do not come unprepared. Do not think that I am just throwing marketing buzzwords out there to try to make the trail seem excited and get the right type of people out here. No, I am telling everyone, regardless of your skill level, you and everybody that comes out here will be challenged in one way or another. And you just got to have your shit together. And that starts with the right bike. So to be continued on where I finally land on gravel bikes, but I'm putting out a strong message now. Leave them at home. This is the bike you want, or a bike like this, and you can thank me later. And that way, if you do bring a gravel bike and you're mad at yourself, you can only be mad at yourself and not at me. And that's what I'm really here for. One other thought on bikes. Should I run aero bars? Me personally, I would run aero bars out here. There is a decent amount of pavement. Kind of the cool thing about the pavement is that they're in like long chunk sections. They're not like sprinkled in. And so you can really like ease into a rhythm on those sections. You can get in your aero bars. It's very common for it to be extremely windy out here, and being able to get tuck and just pace would be really nice and helpful. And even within the state park, there's a lot of gravel riding on the main roads where you'd be able to use aero bars. There's other parts on the course where they'll be completely useless. They'll weigh you down and they might be annoying and get caught up in cactus and creosote bushes and everything else. But yeah, I think if I was gonna do this, if I was gonna do the Showdown, I would run an aero bar, maybe something kind of minimal, or at least have some different hand positions for trying to get aero and out of the wind a little bit. Other than that, I'm not going to go into all of what to pack and what to bring. We'll send out an email with recommended and even mandatory items that you have to have in order to be able to participate. But for now, I just wanted to answer the number one question I'm getting about the bikes. So I hope we've done that. I'm more than excited to have y'all out here in West Texas. I just spent a few days riding my bike. I did a lot of hiking my bike and a lot of bushwhacking with my bike. I am complete, you won't be able to see it, but my legs are shredded just from, riding like 40 miles out here, and then did some hiking and stuff like that. You will be beat up. You will be punched. You will be kicked. You will be scraped, battered, bruised, and bloody. But I hope at the end of it, you'll be proud of yourself, because you will have accomplished something truly incredible, and in a pretty incredible landscape as well. So looking forward to having you out here. West Texas 2025. Can't wait. Let's go.